Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
Welcome back. RCMP are investigating a shooting in Cold Lake involving 2 people, leaving a 29-year-old man from Island Lake First Nation wounded. Yesterday, RCMP responded to a shooting at a motel in Cold Lake. After the altercation, one of the men was taken to hospital and remains in stable condition. The 2 involved are known to each other. If you have any information regarding this incident, you're asked to call Cold Lake RCMP at 780-594-3302 or Crime Stoppers. Well, early Saturday afternoon, multiple police cruisers responded to a 911 call about an injured male near 50th Avenue and 18th Street. This was the scene around 1 o'clock Saturday as police investigators documented the condition of a black car. RCMP say a male was taken to hospital to have his injuries treated, but would not confirm the victim had been stabbed. Police are still investigating. We'll have more updates for you as the RCMP release details. Saturday night, residents of the border city attended the 4th annual Fasion for Freedom show, an event geared towards promoting awareness of human trafficking. In addition to the show, there was also a clothing sale with all proceeds going towards fighting the issue that plagues so many worldwide. Krisha Khan has more.
Human trafficking is a billion-dollar industry that forces millions of people into sexual exploitation, slavery, forced labor, and much more.
Human trafficking is a global issue. There's over 30 million slaves in the world today, and we are trying to do a small part.
You might think this issue only happens in faraway countries, but you'd be wrong.
It's in our neighborhood, it's in our community, and unfortunately the circle goes around Alberta and widespread Canada.
You go to the big cities here and it's such an issue, Calgary, Edmonton, places like that. And nobody understands or really realizes what goes on because we seem to be very blind to the issue of human trafficking.
For these reasons and more, organizations such as You Can Free Us are working towards ending this problem.
They go all over the world and I've just been really inspired by them, and so this is our 4th year raising money for them.
The funds were raised with a clothing sale in the daytime and a fashion show by night, with all proceeds going towards the rescue, aftercare, and rehabilitation of victims. In past events, roughly $20,000 was raised. Now with this year's clothing sale and fashion show, they hope to surpass that amount in the hopes of rescuing the men, women, and children involved in human trafficking. Krisha Khan, Newcap News.
Well, these days, you don't think twice about separating your recycling from your garbage. But as Jeremy Thompson shows us in this week's Retrospect, 25 years ago, Lloydminster was just starting to reduce the amount of waste going to the landfill.
The border city has been waiting since May to hear if they could get on with the province's recycling pilot project. And finally, some word has come through. Lloydminster has made a short list of 3 communities, of which only 2 will be selected. It is not known who the other communities are, but Public Works Director Ed Thornhill says he doesn't believe Saskatoon or Regina are involved. And despite recommendations from administration to decline entering the project, Lloydminster City Council has decided to get in the race.
Personally, I think we have to take responsibility for our own destiny.
Ours was just strictly from a cost point of view, that there was no way to justify spending that kind of money in order to have a system in place that's going to reduce the volume at the landfill by maybe 5%.
Statistics show the first 2 years of the project will cost the city about $127,000. After that, it will be up to the city to carry on all costs, forecasted to be over $200,000. And that's a cost administration isn't sure the city can absorb.
The pilot project is intended to find out how viable is it.
Thornhill says we're okay for now because our landfill still has a lifespan of about 50 years, and we're not in the same situation as Edmonton with the Clover Bar landfill. But 50 years isn't all that far away, and I guess the real question here is not whether we can afford to recycle, but whether we can afford not to. Karina Fairbrother, NewsHour.
Well, we're halfway to 50 years since 1990, and General Manager of Waste Services Karen De La Rosa says the landfill has until 2033 before it's out of space.
That's only 18 years. However, the city has implemented waste reduction strategies.
In 2013, we have introduced the organics collection program, which has increased our diversion to about 38%. So we're recycling our concrete, our metals, our wood. We have we're trying to optimize our landfill space and our landfill life expectancy.
That's all for Retrospect this week. I'm Jeremy Thompson.